In the world of coin collecting, there are certain stories that never fail to capture the imagination. Tales where a coin most people would consider ordinary suddenly reveals itself to be worth an unimaginable fortune. The 1976 United States 1-cent penny error is one of those rare and extraordinary stories. To most of us, a penny seems almost insignificant, small in value, something people often leave behind in trays at stores or drop into jars without a second thought. But what if that penny you casually overlooked was actually worth between $57,500 and $140,000? That astonishing possibility is what makes the 1976 error penny one of the most fascinating treasures to ever slip through the hands of the United States Mint. To understand why this coin is so special, we have to first look back at its context in history. The year 1976 was no ordinary year in the United States. It was the nation's bicentennial, celebrating 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Patriotism was alive everywhere, from parades to fireworks, and the United States Mint even marked the occasion with special commemorative designs on quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins. Yet the penny remained unchanged, still bearing the familiar profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln cent had already become one of the most recognizable coins in American history. By 1976, the design was well established and deeply woven into the everyday lives of Americans. People carried Lincoln cents without a second glance, never expecting them to hold hidden secrets. But this is where the story takes a turn. Within the minting process of 1976, errors slipped through. These weren't just minor blemishes or scratches that come from circulation. They were errors created during striking, the kind of mistakes that turn a simple copper coin into something legendary. The 1976 error pennies are known for unique striking anomalies, doubling on inscriptions, off-center strikes, or mismatched elements that should never have appeared on the coin in the first place. Most people never notice these details. But to collectors, these errors are the mark of rarity, and rarity is the key that unlocks unimaginable value. Imagine the scene. A collector sits down with a pile of coins, perhaps change from a grocery store or coins inherited from a family member. One penny after another passes through their hands until one coin catches their attention. The date looks strange, or maybe the letters seem doubled, or the strike doesn't align the way it should. The collector pauses, heart beating faster, and looks more closely. A magnifying glass reveals the truth. This is no ordinary penny from 1976. This is an error coin, a 1-cent piece that defied the minting process and emerged as something rare and extraordinary. What was once worth a single cent is now a potential gateway to life-changing wealth. The true power of this coin is revealed when one appears at an auction. The crowd gathers, curious and eager, because everyone knows that even though the coin in question is only a penny, it carries a legend with it. The auctioneer begins, the bids climb quickly, and the tension in the room builds with every number that flashes across the board. $10,000.
$22,000. $32,000.
The crowd leans in closer. When the number rises to $57,500, there's a wave of excitement, but it doesn't stop there. The competition grows fierce, determined collectors refusing to let such a treasure slip away. The hammer doesn't fall until the price soars to $140,000, and by then the room understands they've just witnessed something extraordinary. A 1-cent coin transforming into a prize worth more than a luxury car, more than many people's yearly salary, more than some people's homes. This incredible story isn't just about money. It's about the magic of discovery. Somewhere, right now, there could be a 1976 error penny sitting quietly in a jar on a dresser, in a pocket, or in a forgotten drawer. Its owner may have no idea of its true worth. They might dismiss it as just another old coin, never realizing it could be a hidden treasure waiting to be recognized. That possibility is what drives collectors. The dream that a simple search through everyday coins could reveal something extraordinary. And it's not just a dream, it has happened before and it will happen again. The appeal of the 1976 error penny also comes from its imperfections. In a world that often values flawless design and precision, it is the mistake, the human error, the unplanned variation that gives this coin its incredible value. These imperfections are a reminder that even in the carefully controlled environment of the United States Mint, accidents happen. Those accidents, rare as they may be, create opportunities for collectors generations later to marvel at the unexpected beauty of imperfection. Collectors cherish the stories attached to these coins just as much as the coins themselves. There are tales of families discovering 1976 error pennies among inherited belongings, coins that had been tucked away for decades only to reveal their true value years later. There are stories of coin roll hunters, patiently going through thousands of pennies, finally uncovering one of these extraordinary errors and realizing their patience had been rewarded with a small piece of history worth tens of thousands of dollars. These stories aren't just legends, they are real, and they fuel the passion of those who keep searching. To hold a 1976 era penny in your hand is to hold a piece of history, a tangible connection to the nation's bicentennial year, a year when America celebrated its past and looked toward its future. It is a coin that carries not only monetary value but also symbolic value, reminding us that hidden treasures can emerge from the most unexpected places. Every scratch, every doubling, every off-center strike tells a story, and collectors are eager to listen. Think about the journey of one of these coins. Minted in 1976, struck with its unusual error, it slipped unnoticed into circulation. It passed through countless hands, buying candy, newspapers, maybe even gas during an era when prices were far lower than today. For years, it lived its life as just another penny. But then, perhaps decades later, someone finally noticed something unusual. That was the moment its destiny changed. The moment it transformed from pocket change to a legendary collectible. From that point forward, it was no longer just a coin. It was a treasure worth between $57,500 and $140,000. A coin destined to make headlines at auctions and fuel the dreams of collectors everywhere. What makes the story of the 1976 era penny so powerful is that it could happen to anyone. Unlike some rare coins that were immediately scooped up by wealthy collectors, error coins like this one still slip through the cracks. They exist out there in circulation, in forgotten jars, in collections waiting to be rediscovered. And that means anyone, absolutely anyone, could stumble upon one. All it takes is a sharp eye and the patience to look. The legend of the 1976 era penny continues to grow because it represents possibility. It reminds us that value isn't always obvious, that sometimes the smallest and most overlooked objects can carry immense worth. For collectors, it's about more than money. It's about the thrill of the hunt, the satisfaction of discovery, and the joy of holding something rare in their hands. Whether it sells for $57,500 or crosses the incredible line to $140,000, this penny proves that greatness can come from the most unexpected places. So the next time you see a penny, don't just dismiss it. Take a closer look. Examine the date, study the details, and imagine the stories it might tell. Because hidden within those small copper coins could be a treasure that changes your life. The 1976 era penny stands as proof that even the most ordinary coin can become extraordinary, that what you think is worth a cent might just be worth a fortune. It is a legend, a treasure, and a reminder to always keep looking closely at the world around you, because you never know when you might be holding history in the palm of your hand. The 2006 United States 1-cent penny error is one of those fascinating discoveries that reminds us how even the smallest coin in circulation can carry a story of mystery, rarity, and extraordinary value. For most people, a penny is overlooked, pushed aside, or left behind on counters because it seems insignificant. But in the world of numismatics, the humble 1-cent coin has often been the stage where some of the most dramatic minting errors appear. That is exactly the case with the 2006 penny error, a coin that takes something worth just a single cent and transforms it into a treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars. In fact, examples of this error have sold for incredible amounts, ranging anywhere from $42,500 all the way up to $110,000. And those figures have sparked intense interest among collectors and casual observers alike. The Lincoln cent has a long and iconic history, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. By 2006, the penny still carried Victor David Brenner's timeless portrait of Lincoln on the obverse, a design that had already become the longest-running in U.S. coinage history. The reverse still displayed the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday. The memorial reverse had by then been a familiar sight in every pocket and purse for nearly 5 decades. For most Americans, the 2006 penny was nothing special, just another coin among billions. But behind the scenes, the sheer volume of production and the relentless pace of the mint left room for errors, and those errors are what turned certain 2006 pennies into coins that collectors now chase with passion. Error coins happen when the otherwise precise minting process experiences a breakdown. Dies strike planchets under immense pressure, producing millions of identical coins. Yet every so often, something goes wrong. A die might be misaligned, a planchet might be the wrong size or metal, or the coin might be struck multiple times, creating overlapping images. These are not planned, nor are they intended to exist. They are accidents, small flaws that escape detection and make their way into circulation. But in the world of collecting, those accidents are golden opportunities, because they create coins that are instantly rare, instantly different, and instantly valuable. The 2006 penny errors include several dramatic varieties. Some are off-center strikes, where part of Lincoln's portrait is shifted so far to the side that part of the coin's surface is left blank. Others are double-struck, leaving ghostly impressions of Lincoln's face or the Lincoln Memorial repeated in strange, overlapping positions. There are also transitional or wrong planchet errors, where the design of the penny was struck on a blank intended for another denomination. Imagine a copper-coated Lincoln design appearing on a dime or nickel planchet. The result is a coin that feels wrong in the hand and looks even stranger to the eye, but for collectors, that strangeness is pure magic. What makes the 2006 era penny so remarkable is not only the variety of mistakes but also the sheer value attached to them. The idea that a coin worth 1 cent in face value could sell for as much as $110,000 creates excitement that spreads beyond the numismatic community. Collectors understand rarity and value, but even the general public is drawn to stories like this. Everyone loves the idea that a fortune might be hiding in plain sight, that a coin sitting in a piggy bank or change jar could be worth more than a new car. The numbers speak for themselves. Even the lower end of the scale, $42,500, is an amount that can change someone's life. At the higher end, $110,000 is enough to purchase a house in some parts of the country, and the fact that such sums are tied to a 1-cent coin makes the story irresistible. The 2006 penny error also reflects something deeper about the nature of collecting. Coins are meant to be perfect, identical products of precision machinery, yet it is the flawed ones that become treasures. That paradox fascinates collectors because it flips expectations. The mistakes, the accidents, the coins that were never supposed to exist are the ones that command the highest prices. The 2006 era penny is a perfect example of this truth. It exists because something went wrong, but in going wrong, the mint accidentally created something worth far more than it ever intended. Auction houses and collectors alike have stories of these coins crossing the block and leaving bidders stunned. The excitement in the room when a 2006 era penny appears for sale is palpable, because everyone knows how rare and desirable these coins are. The bidding often starts strong and quickly escalates, pushing the final hammer price into that incredible range between $42,500 and $110,000. The emotional weight of these auctions is part of the appeal, as collectors recognize they are not just buying a coin. They are buying a story, a piece of history, and a symbol of rarity. What's even more thrilling is that these coins came from circulation. They were not created as special editions or limited releases. They were meant to be spent, tossed into cash registers, and carried around without notice. That means anyone could, in theory, find one. The possibility that such a coin might still be sitting unnoticed in a roll of pennies or hidden at the bottom of a drawer keeps collectors searching tirelessly. Every coin hunt, every trip through pocket change, carries the promise of a discovery that could change someone's life. The 2006 era penny also stands as a bridge between tradition and change. Just a few years later, in 2009, the U.S. Mint would launch 4 new reverse designs for the Lincoln cent to commemorate the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth, followed by the permanent shield reverse in 2010. The 2006 penny, then, is one of the last examples of the long-running memorial reverse, but with the added twist of era varieties that make it unique. It represents both continuity and imperfection, a snapshot of American coinage at a turning point. For collectors, the appeal of this coin is not just financial. It is emotional, historical, and deeply personal. Owning a 2006 era penny means holding a piece of numismatic history, a coin that tells a story of imperfection turned into perfection in the eyes of collectors. It reminds us that even the most ordinary objects can carry extraordinary stories, and that value is often found where we least expect it. So the next time you spot a penny, don't dismiss it. Look closely at the details, the alignment of the design, the edges, and even the weight and feel of the coin. Because while most pennies are worth exactly 1 cent, history has shown us that some are worth far more. Somewhere out there, another 2006 penny error may still be hiding, waiting to be discovered. And for the lucky person who finds it, that tiny copper-coated coin could unlock a treasure worth between $42,500 and $110,000. That is the magic of error coins, and it is why collectors will never stop searching. The 2010 United States 1-cent penny is one of those coins that, at first glance, seems completely ordinary. Most people would pass it along without hesitation, never giving it a second thought as they drop it into a jar, use it for exact change, or let it slip between couch cushions. Yet what makes 2010 fascinating in the world of numismatics is that certain pennies from this year carry mistakes. Errors created during the minting process that slipped into circulation and forever changed their destiny. These aren't just minor flaws. They are striking, attention-grabbing errors that turn a 1-cent coin into a collector's dream. For those who have been fortunate enough to discover one, the financial shock is as powerful as the historical significance. These pennies, tiny and overlooked by so many, have been valued not at 1 cent, not at a few dollars, but at staggering amounts ranging anywhere between $34,500 and $103,000. To appreciate how something so small and common could become so valuable, it helps to look at the design and background of the 2010 penny. In 2010, the United States Mint had just transitioned from the series of 4 special bicentennial Lincoln designs issued in 2009, each one celebrating a chapter of Abraham Lincoln's life, to a brand new reverse design for the Lincoln cent. This design, known as the Union Shield Reverse, depicts a shield with 13 vertical stripes representing the states joined in one union, with a horizontal bar across the top and a scroll bearing the words 1 cent. The obverse still featured Victor David Brenner's portrait of Lincoln, a design that had been a staple since 1909. The combination of Lincoln's enduring image and the newly introduced shield made the 2010 penny historically significant as the first year of a design that would carry forward into the new decade. But while millions upon millions of these pennies were minted, a few did not come out the way they were supposed to. Error coins are born when something goes awry during the minting process. It could be a misaligned die that strikes the coin off center, a double strike that leaves ghostly images overlapping, a wrong planchet that produces a coin with the wrong weight, or even dramatic die cracks that spread across the surface like lightning bolts. In the case of the 2010 penny, collectors have reported errors ranging from off-center strikes to die breaks, and even rare cases where the penny was struck on planchets intended for other denominations. Each of these errors tells a story of how the precision of modern minting is not foolproof, and each one transforms an otherwise common coin into a unique artifact. Now picture yourself back in 2010, using pennies to pay for a coffee or collecting change from a store clerk. You glance down at one of the coins and notice that something looks off. Perhaps Lincoln's profile seems shifted, part of the shield is cut off, or the lettering looks doubled. Most people wouldn't look twice, but for the careful observer, these details are not just quirks. They are signs of rarity, signs of value, signs that the coin in your hand could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. This is where the excitement of coin collecting lies, in the realization that hidden among the ordinary could be something extraordinary. When it comes to the financial value of these coins, the numbers are almost hard to believe. A coin that cost the mint less than a cent to produce can, under the right circumstances, sell for $34,500 to $103,000. This price range reflects not only the rarity of the error but also the condition of the coin and the demand among collectors. The more dramatic the error, the higher the price. A penny struck far off center or on the wrong planchet may bring in values at the higher end of that range, while smaller but still noticeable errors can easily cross into the tens of thousands. The market for these coins is driven by collectors who understand that error coins are not just money. They are tangible pieces of minting history, snapshots of imperfection preserved in copper-coated zinc. The beauty of the 2010 penny error lies not just in its value but in its symbolism. Lincoln's face has long been associated with resilience, leadership, and the preservation of the Union. The new shield design itself represented unity and strength. To find errors on such a coin is almost poetic. It's as if the coin carries a reminder that even in moments of imperfection, there is value, history, and meaning. The flaws do not diminish the coin but elevate it, making it something far more desirable than its flawless counterparts. Collectors often describe the thrill of the hunt as addictive. Searching through rolls of pennies from the bank, examining each one under a magnifying glass, hoping to spot a detail that others have missed is both a challenge and a joy. Stories abound of collectors who discovered error pennies in circulation, tucked away in old jars, or hidden in collections that no one thought held anything special. Imagine the shock of finding out that a penny you thought was worth almost nothing was actually valued in the tens of thousands. It's the kind of discovery that can change the way you look at every coin that passes through your hands. Beyond the excitement of discovery, the 2010 penny error also represents the ongoing evolution of coin collecting in America. With modern technology, minting errors are less common than they were in the past, which makes them even more valuable when they occur. Each error is a reminder that despite advanced machinery, perfection is never guaranteed. Each mistake that escapes into circulation becomes a treasure, a rare survivor of a process designed to eliminate such flaws. The fact that these coins can command such high prices speaks to the passion and dedication of the numismatic community, where collectors value not just the metal but the story, the history, and the uniqueness of each piece. Think about the countless pennies that are minted each year, billions of coins that blend together in perfect uniformity. Now consider that among those billions, A few are different, a few stand out, a few are destined to be remembered not for their conformity but for their deviation. The 2010 penny error is one of those coins. Its existence challenges the idea that perfection is the goal. Instead, it proves that sometimes it is the imperfections that make something truly valuable. The story of the 2010 penny error is still being written. Collectors continue to search, auctions continue to surprise with high prices, and the fascination with this tiny coin continues to grow. It serves as a reminder that value is often hidden in plain sight, that treasures can be found in the most unexpected places, and that even the smallest coin can carry a story worth telling. So the next time you find a penny, especially one from 2010, don't dismiss it as worthless. Take a closer look, because within that little piece of copper-coated zinc could lie a mistake that turns 1 cent into over $100,000. A mistake that carries history, rarity, and life-changing value. Somewhere out there, another 2010 error penny may still be waiting to be discovered, and the next person to find one could be you.